back to the second lesson of your Search 2. Today we're going to continue looking at our competency about maintaining sport, fitness and recreation industry knowledge. So looking at another aspect of that particular area. The area we're going to look at today is social and health impact of the sport and recreation area. Okay? Alright, so firstly, just want a bit of a check-in to see how you are all travelling today. Can be good, tired, sleepy, whatever it might be. Just gets me an idea of where you're at today and how to work with you as best I can. Alright, Justin, one word.
A little bit tired, I suppose.
Okay, Luke?
Good.
Good. Ben?
Plausible.
Plausible. Okay, interesting. Good. Alright, question of the day. If you could meet anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why? Justin?
Probably Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice. Would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Lucas?
Jason.
Yeah, again, another interesting one. Ben?
What's he talking about?
Yeah, cool. And Zoe? Who's somebody? Anyone? No? Okay. I personally would probably like to meet Dave Grohl. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, starter activity for today. See if you can work out the puzzles, please. If you don't have a little piece of paper, or you would like a little piece of paper, I can give you one. So this is just to get our brains firing and starting to think you're good, Justin.
Yeah.
Yep. So a couple of minutes. Done, Ben? Good job. So you're looking at the pictures, the words, how they're written, how they're stacked, what they might mean in the combination together. Justin, you good?
Yeah, I think so.
This one?
Yeah.
What's in the word? What else could it be? Instead of dog. Yeah? Alright. Justin, the first one.
Crossroad.
Good. Lou, the next one.
Football.
Yep. Ben. Good. Zoe. Yes. And anyone for this one? Crossfire. Good job. Well done. Alrighty. Let's look at our learning intent and success criteria for today. Remember, this links back to the unit of competency and what we have to do in that unit of competency. And this is telling me how you understand the concept. Okay, so by the end of the lesson, we should be able to talk about physical and mental impacts of sport and recreation, fostering inclusion, encouraging lifelong participation, and trends and challenges within the sport and rec industry. Okay, so that's looking at that as a whole. Again, at the end, we'll have an exit ticket. This is part of our formative assessment. You'll have to give me a bit of a summary of each one of those, type it up in an email and send it to me. So I've got it as an ongoing record of what you're understanding. Okay? All right, before we dive into that, can someone please give me a recap on what we talked about yesterday, which was economic benefits?
Direct and indirect towards sporting or sport and recreation.
Yeah, okay, so we can have a direct impact from sport and rec, and what is that?
Like, for example, or
Yeah.
like hospitality, tourism.
Direct, so is more about directly in that sport and rec industry, so me directly doing something that relates to sport and rec industry, like being part of a football association, going to a game, that sort of stuff. Indirect. Yeah, it's your hospitality. So things that flow on, because my initial goal is to do something with sport and rec. The flow on effects of me going and doing that are tourism, hospitality, retail, health, all of those sort of things. Okay, so that was one part we talked about. Another part was careers, What were some of the careers that we sort of might have talked about? Psychology, yeah. Coaching, officiating, facility management. Zoe? Physiotherapists, good. Professional athletes, all of that sort of stuff. So we can have people who derive their income directly from it, and then we also have talked about volunteers and things like that. Okay? Alright, let's move on to today's content, please. Social and health impacts. Alright, so we've got some little worksheets that we're going to do eventually, but we're just going to talk about these individually first, so we've got a bit of an idea. So what do you think we mean by sport and rec industry promotes physical and mental health? How are we promoting physical health?
Being fit.
Yeah, getting fit, being active. Awesome. That's good for us. Yeah. What about mental health? Yeah, Luke?
Socialising.
Yeah, socialising. What else can physical activity be in terms of mental health? Yeah, endorphins. Awesome. What do they make you? Or what are they first, Ben?
Feel good chemicals in the brain.
Yeah, so some chemicals or some hormones in the brain make you feel good. What else could we lead to? So if we're feeling good, what might that help to in terms of mental health?
Confidence, positivity.
Yeah, confidence, meeting new people. What else does it? Positivity. Can it be a bit of a stress release thing? Yep, okay. So you're going to read some little comprehension things and then answer some questions on each of these very shortly, okay? Alright, so that's one. The next one might be fosters social inclusion, especially through community groups. What do you think we're talking about in terms of fostering inclusion?
Foster is when you look after a gang something, isn't it?
Yeah. So what do we think social inclusion might be?
Including everyone, like who's helping people getting included.
Yeah, bringing people together, okay? Particularly important in small town communities such as ours, okay? Because sometimes there's a lot of isolation if you're working in properties or you have partners who work away. We have a lot of people who are in that situation where one partner is at home, the other works away and comes back. So that's inclusion. So what do we mean by community groups?
Local.
Yeah, local groups. So our clubs, our associations. Okay, we're looking at making sure that everybody in our community feels like they've got somewhere to go and meet people, be included, and have that sense of connection. So as human beings, we're very social creatures. We like to interact with people. We don't do well in isolation. Okay, so we need to have that connection with other people. All right, good. Okay, encouraging lifelong participation in activities and an active lifestyle. How is that going to be a benefit to us? And is it social or is it health? Yeah, excellent. Why can it be both, Dustin?
Always be using social inclusion throughout your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say if you end up retiring, you don't have that negativity afterwards?
Yeah, so you might lose that connection if you're not working anymore. You need to make some new connections. Okay. So what we're looking at here is encouraging people to continue to be active once they sort of finish school or finish university and you're out working. Okay, so it's about making sure that we have that lifelong commitment to being active. Okay, lots of benefits in terms of our social life, lots of benefits in terms of our health and all those sort of things. Yeah, cool. All right, helps with youth development, gender equality, and community cohesion. What do we think this is all about?
Really helping younger people work together.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think teenagers need somewhere to go and something to do? Is that beneficial to them? Yeah, good. Okay, rather than just being left to their own devices, because sometimes teenagers don't make great decisions. Okay, so by having them involved in activities, they can have something to do. What might they come across if they're involved in other community groups? Who might they interact with? Adults, which might give them what?
Maturity.
Bit of maturity. Yeah, looking up to them. So if I'm looking up to someone, I might say somebody is my idol, role model, okay? Same sort of thing. And they can be demonstrating ways to act, okay? So we want to promote that positive engagement. So having youth around involved in that can actually help promote that, yeah? Gender equality, what are we talking about here? What are we trying to make sure?
Making sure each entity treating each other equally.
Yeah, definitely. So boys and girls both being involved, not saying, oh, well, you're a girl, you can't play. Okay, so making sure that everyone gets a chance. Okay, and community cohesion, what do we think that means? Pardon? Yeah. So just recently in the North Burnett, we've had the finals of the A grade rugby league. What did we notice through the final series that each of the towns were trying to do? Yeah, gather around, show their support. So what did we see on Facebook? What did we see in shop windows? Promoting the team, the community coming together to support one entity. Okay, so that's what we mean by community cohesion. So everyone wanting to work together to make their area of town a better place, or working together. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is complete the worksheets on the social and health benefits. We're going to do them one at a time, and then we're going to answer the questions. Okay. So they're all in together. Sorry, Lloyd. We'll do the first one. So it's a bit of reading comprehension to give you some information, and then we'll answer the questions. So if you need any help, put your hand up. So mostly I think it's either short answer or a multiple choice sort of question. You right, Ben? Yep. So hopefully between the quick discussion that we've had on each of those ones and the information's there, you should be able to answer each of those questions. If you have any questions, please make sure you put your hand up and let me know. And like I said, once we finish one, we'll go through the answers. And then we'll get you to move on to the next one. You right, Zoe? Yep, so what is this saying? So we've read all the information. So what best summarises it? That sport is only about improving fitness. Recreation provides both physical and mental health benefits. Sport is most important for young adults, or sport and recreation mainly is for socialising. So which one of those do you think? Yeah? Put your question over the page. Oh no, yeah, there is one. Yeah, one I forgot to copy back to back. The others should all be back to back. I think there's about 4 questions for each one. Good, Justin? Yep. Bill, Lou? Good, Zoe? Okay, so let me know when you're done, and then we'll go through the answers. Done? Ben?
Yep.
Zoe? Justin? Alright, let's flip back to the front page. Question 1, Zoe, you want to give us an answer for it, please? Give us a brief summary of what the question is, and then give us an answer.
Which of the following is a physical benefit of sport?
Mhm.
Would be building stronger muscles and bones.
Excellent. Everyone agree with that one? Yeah, good. Ben, the next one, please.
Magical endorphins. The question asks what chemical is released during exercise which helps us reducing stress and anxiety.
So endorphins. Yep, awesome. Lou, number 3.
Having joined a sports team or club sport mental health and then reduce stress and anxiety.
Yeah, good. Justin.
Which of the best summarizes the main idea of the passage, which shows the sport recreation provides both physical and mental health benefits?
Excellent. Zoe. Number 5.
I put both of them. They both go hand in hand.
Both what? So
Um,
generally, what's the question?
which benefit physical and mental do you think is important for young adults today?
And what did you say, both? Why is that?
I don't really know.
Is it because it makes a whole person? Like you can't, it's very difficult.
Have one.
Yeah, you can't just have one without the other. Like if your mental health is not great, you're probably not going to go out and exercise. You might be exercising too much, which might mean your mental health is not great. Okay, awesome. Can we move on to the next one, which is foster social inclusion? Jump onto our questions. Need tissue? Right. Think so? Yep. If you need any help, remember just put your hand up or just ask.
No sharpener, please.
A sharpener? Maybe. I do have a sharpener. I think someone stole it. Sorry, Ben. Someone stole it.
No.
Would you like a different pencil or a pen or something? Pardon? Oh, right. Awesome. Thanks, Lucas. How are we going with that one? A little bit longer this one. Pardon? What'd you say?
Nothing.
So I see a big question before we skip along with it.
Oh, potentially. Maybe. Not always a great tactic for multiple choice then. I wouldn't recommend it on a regular basis. Definitely read the answer first.
Oh, can I do that?
Mm-hmm. You right, Dustin?
So,
Yeah? So what would you be saying is the one that the way that you've already sort of spoken about it? Saying, can you think of another way? It would be something like reconnection after retirement or something like that. Yeah. Alright, how are we going? Nearly done? Yep. Alright, Ben, starting with you this time. Let's go through the answers. Question 1. General summary of what the question is and what the answer is.
Multiple choice,
Yep.
which of the following is a way sport recreation to promote social inclusion? I chose A, which is encouraging competition only.
How do we go? Does everyone agree with that one?
I have B, building trust and respect in play.
Yeah. Who are we thinking? A or pardon?
Come on,
Yep, A or B are we thinking? B. I think it's probably about the trust building, Ben. Yep. Alright, Lucas.
How can joining a community club help someone who's just moved to a new town? Can help by joining the community and meet new people and help build their confidence.
Yeah.
involving the others and stuff.
Definitely. So any of our employees that come through, that's one of the first things that we recommend that they do, find a sport that they like that's available in the town. It's the best way to meet people who like the same thing as you. Yeah. So you've already instantly sort of got something to talk about. Yeah. Dustin.
What are two types of activities mentioned in passage that brings club members together?
Mm-hmm.
Chose training and games.
Yep. Training and games. Awesome. Zoe.
What is the main idea of the passage? I put C, the sport and recreation club support social inclusion and learning.
Yep. Excellent. Ben, last one.
For a short answer for can you think of another way sport and recreation would make people feel included in the community? I'll just put 4 words, which is socialising, enthusiasm, inclusion, and encouragement.
Okay. Very good. Anyone have anything sort of different? Yep. Dustin.
Yeah, like several years after retirement.
Yeah. Reconnections. Yeah. Good. All right. Can we go on to the next one? Encouraging lifelong participation in active lifestyles. Okay, nearly done, which is good. Alright, so summarise on the last question?
I guess it depends where you go, but to make sport and recreation accessible, like some places you have to pay $200 or $300 to enter.
To be a member and that sort of stuff. Yeah, and that is part of the problem with sport and rec accessibility. Sometimes it can be priced out of the range of people. Do you know of any government incentives or programs that help families in particular access activities for their kids?
It was one, but I don't remember it very well now.
Okay. Do you know what it was about or what they did?
Like childcare or child health centre or something.
Possibly. Okay, so the government has what they call now play on vouchers. They used to be called fair play vouchers. So parents can apply for those, and you can get $200 to go towards paying the fees of your kids being involved in sport. And that's to the government saying we recognise that this is an important thing for people to have access active lifestyles. So we're going to help families do that. Okay. All right, we're done with those ones. All right, Lucas, starting with you first this time, please.
The multiple choice, what does lifelong participation mean?
Yep.
B, developing habits to stay active at all stages of life.
Yeah, excellent. Everyone agree with that? Yep. Dustin, next one.
What are the two physical benefits of online participation? I did maintain fitness and goals around me.
Yeah, excellent. Good. Zoe?
How does being active throughout life support mental health? I thought that it allows you to meet new people and make new friendships.
Yep, good. And next one?
Multiple choice, which are the social benefits of lifelong participation. The other three are just there for a reason, because they don't have anything to do with socialising, so meeting new people, see, and staying connected is the answer.
Excellent. Good. And Lucas, the last one.
Why do you think it is important for young people to see sport and recreation as enjoyable and accessible? Instead, so they have a reason to go out, socialise, and stay fit.
Yeah, good. Does anyone know what sort of program or group promote activity for people over a certain age group? No? Anyone ever heard of Masters Sport? Okay, so Masters Sport is a program that looks at participation in sporting teams or activities for people generally over 35, and you compete and things like that. So it's a way of having people be active in a competitive sense as well. All right, last one, please. We'll race through this one very quickly because we're just about done with our time. Okay, this will be our exit ticket formative assessment for today. So I'll keep that to make sure I've got showing you an understanding of those particular topics. I'll try and find my sharpener for our next one. Yeah.
Or is one having equal opportunity sports stereotype?
So by allowing people to play what we would say is non-traditional sports, so girls playing rugby league, boys playing netball, we can challenge the stereotype, well, that's not for girls or that's not for boys. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you can't play rugby league, sure, it's for girls. Well, we're proving that wrong by making sure they have access to it. Okay. All right, guys. We have actually come to the end of our lesson. Instead of going through the answers for these now, I'll have a look at those between now and our next lesson, and then we'll have a quick recap at the end. So can you please make sure that you put your names on the front of those for me? And hand them to me, and then I will see you at our next lesson. So thank you very much, guys. Just collect them in the middle and men's pile for me. Awesome. Thank you.